The United States has a long history of using sanctions as a tool of foreign policy aimed at influencing the behavior of other nations. In the context of India, the relationship between the two countries has often been complex, evolving significantly over decades. The U.S. and India initially had a tumultuous relationship during the Cold War, with India leaning towards the Soviet Union. However, after the end of the Cold War, the two nations began to engage more positively, culminating in a historic 2005 civil nuclear agreement that marked a significant thaw in relations. This agreement allowed for the cooperation on civilian nuclear energy, aiming to foster closer ties between the world's largest democracy and the United States. However, the situation changed with the increasing geopolitical tensions related to Russia, particularly following its annexation of Crimea in 2014 and, more recently, the full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022. The U.S. government has implemented sanctions against Russia to weaken its economy and limit its military capabilities. These sanctions were designed not only to directly impact Russia, but also to signal to other countries the U.S. commitment to its international principles regarding territorial integrity and sovereignty. Amid these developments, India's relationship with Russia, particularly in defense procurement, has drawn scrutiny from Washington. India has historically maintained a strong defense partnership with Russia, relying on it for military supplies and technology. This reliance has led to U.S. concerns about India's role in the broader geopolitical landscape, particularly as it relates to countering Russian influence. In this context, recent U.S. sanctions against India can be understood as part of a broader strategy to enforce compliance with sanctions against Russia while encouraging Indian diversification of defense suppliers. The U.S. has sought to pressure countries like India to reduce their dependency on Russia, particularly in arms and military technology, citing the need for shared democratic values and stability in the Indo-Pacific region. The Biden administration's linkage of sanctions against India to its stance on the Russia-Ukraine conflict indicates an attempt to reshape global alliances amidst shifting geopolitical dynamics. By taking this step, the U.S. aims not only to signal its disapproval of any continued cooperation with Russia, but also to encourage India to play a more proactive role in upholding international norms challenging aggression by nations like Russia. Furthermore, this situation reflects the delicate balance India must navigate between its traditional ties with Russia and its growing partnership with the United States, particularly in defense and technology. India's strategic interests may lead it to resist U.S. pressure, given its long-standing relationship with Russia and motivation to maintain military readiness in the face of regional threats. Overall,